Hello, my friend. Today we are talking about music and social media. And I promise you this is not a doom and gloom video. This is a positive reflection of the current music environment, some commentary on its role with social media, and how we can move forward and continue to make great quality music. My name is Kev Rowe. I'm a lifelong musician. I've got over 150 songs on Spotify, 10 albums, and then I've done over 2,000 live shows all over the country. So I have a lot of experience in the music business, both as an artist and as a professional. So the first thing I want to talk about today is the environment in which we live in and how it applies to music and social media. Let's talk about social media first. So, the number of hours that we all spend on these social media platforms continues to rise. I don't know what they are, but it's like 4 to 6 hours a day on average. When I look at my phone at the end of the week, I spend between 10 and 11 hours on my phone every day. I don't know how they're calculating that at Apple, because I have an iPhone, but a lot of time on the phone, and I'm sure you're the same way. And in reference to music, the one thing that I really want to strike home in this video, with concern to the environment with which music lives in, is social media is primarily visual. Think about how we use these devices today with our phones and access to social media. First thing we do is pick up the phone. Then we look at our screen. Then we look at the apps that are available to us on that screen. Then we choose an app, go into it. Let's say it's Instagram. We start seeing things. Videos from other musicians, from our friends, cooking videos from our Aunt Marie, political commentary from our friend Joe, who we went to high school with. All this visual content. And if you're like me, you follow a lot of musicians, so you start seeing music videos. And before we hear the music, what do we see in those music videos? We see brand. We see what are they wearing, where are they performing, whether it's an outdoor video, at a sunset, standing next to a lake or by a mountain, or in their kitchen, or live in the studio, maybe recording their brand new single, or maybe they're playing a music festival. It's all visual. We're seeing this visual content first, way before we hear the song. So all those visual steps that I just walked through are creating how we will be perceiving the music we're about to hear. So great. All of a sudden, the music arrives. And finally, we're digesting audio. Now, the difference between visual and audio is visual you can see, and audio is what you can hear. So now, I'm into the audio world of digesting this artist's content. I might say, wow, I love this song. This is so great. But we can't underestimate the fact that it has been affected by the visual steps that it took to get there. And the most recent visual step in this specific video is the fact that I see them performing live in the studio or at a festival or next to a mountain. So, however this musician is presenting themselves in the video directly affects how I'm consuming the audio that I'm hearing. So let's say I love this song and I become a fan and I go over to Spotify, another visual platform. That's right, I have to go off that app, or maybe there's a link in bio on their artist profile. I go to the artist profile of that new artist. I click on the link. It takes me over to Spotify. I'm still looking at audio things on Spotify. I have to find the song. Now I'm playing the music and I'm back in audio again. So even Spotify is purely visual until we're actually listening to music. You go over to the Spotify app, straight off your phone. You gotta go find the artist. There's their picture. You gotta see their name. There's their name. You gotta go find the new single. Boom, there's the new single album cover art, all making an impression on you before you hear the audio. So then you go in and you listen. And now this artist is becoming a part of your audio listening experience. You're now becoming an audio fan of them. So that's the environment that we live in. Now I want to talk about what is happening to actual music and the songwriting process that's being produced because of this. What is happening is that musicians and songwriters many times in their brains, while they're writing songs, are seeing visual pictures of social media and then writing the songs to be applicable for that visual presentation on social media, which drastically changes the writing process, the content, of course, the format for how short or how long the music's going to be, and how it applies in people's lives. So some of the lyrics being written today are written with how is my video going to be perceived on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube in conjunction with the audio I'm about to create. So it's like they see the visual in their mind first and how it will be used, and then they start writing lyrics based on how that visual and audio together will be consumed on social media. And this, again, this is not a doom and gloom type of situation here. This is the reality of the world we live in, and it creates tremendous opportunities. There are people writing incredibly relevant songs based on everything that I just said. Is there and reaching millions and millions of people, sometimes billions of people. So the opportunity to write great songs, create social media content, and reach millions of people is really amazing. So let's not undersell that. That's the highlight. The hard part to this is if it's the only thing you're doing, you become one-dimensional. And your songs could, as times change, become irrelevant if that's the only way that you're writing your songs or producing your songs for social media. So, my advice, well, let's talk a little more about that. So let's say that you keep writing your songs for social media, and in 5 to 10 years, 15 years, the climate changes and things go more back to audio, which they will, I hope, because it'll mean music gets a lot greater in quality. Another video for another story for another video. But let's say 10 years from now, you've invested all this time and energy into writing what I would call social media music. Without that visual context, does it still hold weight? Is it still applicable in people's lives? Because we're going to have apps here down the line that become audio only, thank God. And AI and artificial intelligence and the evolution of how we consume things is going to continue to grow. So audio will come back in style again, I promise you. And when it does, social media music will be immediately recognizable as just that. Music that was made to be consumed on social media. So what can you do as a musician, as an artist, in this incredible time? Yes, keep making social media music, or keep letting social media affect your music process, because that's the world we live in today. But I do have some ideas on how you can continue to be relevant over time, and that is to be consuming your audio, your own personal music, in every format that you can imagine, in every environment that you can imagine. So, listen to music in your car. Listen to music while you're cooking. Listen to music while you're chilling at night or hanging out with friends. Listen to music all the time from different genres in different eras. So from the 1960s, when we had no social media, from the 1980s, when MTV was big, there's some visual. It's from the 1920s, classic, like no visual whatsoever if you were to hear it. The only visual you got in 1920, or let's say 1900s, was a person sitting right in front of you playing a song. So that's another thing. Go to live shows. You gotta go to live shows to like learn how music can affect you. I go to as many live shows as live shows that I perform. And that's super important, because taking in music from all these things, not just social media, will make you a much better, well-rounded musician. And you'll understand the role that music plays in our lives in every way, just not the visual way. And by understanding this visual, or by having a fuller perception of music's effect on us, and as you as a person, you'll begin to write songs that are more relevant 5 years, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, because you'll have that understanding of what music can do, just not what social media music can do. So take in music from everywhere and write your music from everywhere. And it just makes you a much more well-rounded artist. So music and social media, is it important right now? Absolutely. It's an unbelievably fun time to be a musician and make content. But just be aware of it's not going to last forever in this form. So you got to continue to grow. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you later. Bye.